Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in on today's daily Liverpool live stream. If you are new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool related, whether that be player profile videos that we had yesterday. We had a little look at Curtis Jones and how we expect and hopefully to see his this coming season going forward, the young scouser in our team. And shout out to all the lads that joined me yesterday. It was a cracking show. Obviously, I had Mick Moran, obviously Connor, Doug, and Ricky. As I said, all their links and their channel, all the links to their channels are in the description as well. So if you're watching, lads, thank you very much for dropping on the show yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And most importantly, thank you to every single one of you that did tune in last night as well. And obviously is tuning in today as well. We've got a packed show for you. We're going to be diving into the links of Gnabry potentially, what that foresee any potential deal happening there as well. Want to gauge your thoughts on Gnabry. Do you think if he was to join Liverpool, would he be good enough to play in a Jurgen Klopp system anyway? And obviously, Taki 15M Monaco, we've got the official announcements in which we have seen him move to Monaco anyway. Taki, he's played quite well last season. Obviously, Liverpool's highest goal scorer in the FA Cup and the League Cup. It will be a massive miss, but I think all of us will be very intrigued to see how he does progress in the French League. I think he'll do really well. But if you are watching on the repeat, make sure you do get your comments in the comment section below. And I will always continue to reply to every single one of your comments. So if you have missed the live stream, just jump on the video and very much I will be replying to all your comments as well, most importantly. And as well, there has been a little murmurings over the last 48 hours in relation to Mohamed Salah, a potential supposed bit of news trickling through over the last 48 hours of a potential, whether you want to read too much into it, whether he's signing a contract, whether or not, I think it will be the biggest story to come out of Liverpool Football Club since Jurgen Klopp did sign his contract anyway, but not into 100% concrete. Hopefully we Liverpool have made progression in reality in terms of any potential transfer, any potential new contract talk anyway. But let me know your thoughts. As I said, make sure you are smashing that like button as well and hit that subscribe button down below. It massively does help, and thank you to everyone that does continue to smash that subscribe button and the like button as well. Really does push it out, especially when YouTube doesn't push out your notifications for your content as well. It's bloody pain in the backside, but you've got to deal with it anyway. But thank you to everyone that does tune in on the live streams. Absolute bloody legend. So not into 100% on Salah at the minute, but if anything does change over the next couple of hours or next week, I'll be as quick as I possibly can to hopefully break the news. Salah signed a new contract at Liverpool Football Club, and if it is the other case where he doesn't sign, then we'll speak about that when it does, when the situation does rise anyway. But we'll go into the first news story now anyway in relation to the 100% million percent bang on news. We spoke about Taki 15M Monaco potentially moving it was a couple of weeks ago. He was getting linked with Leeds, obviously Jesse March, him being his ex-coach at RB Salzburg in Austria all those years ago, and when he did play Liverpool in the Champions League. But as it has been announced by Liverpool Football Club, Taki has completed a permanent transfer to AS Monaco after a 2.5-year stay at Liverpool. Everyone at Liverpool would like to thank Taki for his contributions and wish him very success in the next chapter of his career as well. So that's official confirmation from Liverpool Football Club. The initial fee is rumoured to be in and around £15 million, with 3.5 million in relation to those add-ons that would take it up to 15 odd million pounds. I'm gutted to see Taki go. But as Jurgen Klopp's quotes do say here, Klopp goes on to say on Liverpool on Twitter, he's made us better each and every day he was with us, not just in the game he's played in, but every single session in training. Perfect attitude, winner's mentality. Jurgen Klopp's comments on the Taki's big contribution to our success in recent years as well. So interesting insights, and it's great comments from Jurgen Klopp, and that's very much what Liverpool will be missing. I think that's not just the players that do start in the starting 11, but in terms of obviously when we're losing Divock Origi going to Milan, we're fully expecting the official confirmation from him signing for Milan in a couple of days. Really, he did fly out to Milan over the last 24 hours, and he's officially, he's very, very, very close to getting that official contract signed and sealed and delivered, really. But Jurgen Klopp's comments and obviously his contribution last season was massive to Liverpool Football Club, as we all do know as well. Big up, Jack, mate. Hope you are well. Not too bad, John. Thank you very much for tuning in as well. Everyone, make sure you do smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. It does help as well. Absolute bloody legends. Trev, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it. Hope everyone, if you are watching on the repeat or if you're watching live, hope you're having a great day anyway. We've had a big clear out. Hope we get a few more signings over the line. Yeah, 100%, Trev. That's what I was very much alluding to just then, mate. So we'll speak about Gnabry in a little at the back end of the show in terms of whether we think it'd be a good addition to Liverpool. If the rules come to fruition, really, in reality. But yeah, spot on there, Trev. It's Origi's goals, Taki's goals as well. When you identify the goals in which Taki did score, I know he didn't have the desired impact over the 2.5 years that we wanted. Last year was amazing for him. I think Taki would have wanted more game time. I think we can all agree with that. But when, as you mentioned there, Trev and chat, let us know on Trev's comments as well. Follow it up with your thoughts as well. It'll be intriguing to see if Liverpool do make one or two additional, not first teamers, but players, whether that be on loan or because when you look at identifying the goals, who's going to be replacing the goals in terms of Taki, in terms of the League Cup and the FA Cup? Obviously, we're hoping if Kate Gordon is given more of an opportunity than he was last season. Obviously, Harvey Elliott, if he can chip in with the goal output in which Harvey Elliott did. Not Harvey Elliott, Taki 15M did score last year. It's whether how you foresee Liverpool's targets going to next season. For me, if it wasn't for Taki last season, we would have ended up with no trophies. And but at the end of the day, it was still a successful season. But as Trev said there, great comment, mate, as well. I think we need to replace certain goals. Whether that, hopefully, Núñez is that, but when you look at identifying the main priorities, Champions League and Premier League, every single season, that is the target. But in crunch games, big games, players to come off the bench if we need it. Yes, we've got Jota, we've got Diaz and Bobby as well, potentially. But probably the two main players in Liverpool are playing, say, Diaz on the left, Núñez through the middle and Salah. Then you're looking at, obviously, the likes of Bobby Firmino, Jota to come off the bench potentially. And then you're looking at, i.e. the young players, Carvalho, will he be chipping in with more goals? I think he got like 10 goals and a couple of assists as well last season for Fulham, so he can score goals. But you're heavily reliant on a youngster as well. You don't be putting too much pressure on a lad's shoulders, but at the end of the day, if you're good enough and you're old enough in reality, and there's no better manager, as we all know, than Jurgen Klopp to very much come in, get these lads settled, and then make them hit the ground running, hopefully. But it's Trev, will find out in a couple of weeks. There's a long way to go, as we all know, in the transfer window. But I'm hoping, I'm just made up, Trev, and chat as well, that the pre-season's starting very soon as well. Let me know if you are going to go to any of the pre-season games, if you obviously are read abroad as well. If you will be going to any, obviously, I think we're playing in Australia or Malaysia, really. I think we are playing Manchester United as well, aren't we? So, be intriguing. I'm made up to see all the, Trev said, followed that up with spot on. We need fringe players that can make an impact like Taki and Origi did. Yeah, thank you for your comments, Trev, as well. Most importantly, I really do appreciate all you tuning in, everyone. And you pose all the questions. I'd much rather you set the agendas or the Reds as well. But spot on there, Trev. Thank you for your comment, mate. But yeah, interesting times ahead. But we've all got full confidence within this Liverpool squad anyway, and especially if we can get the right balance spot on this year in reality and bringing in the right players, adding one or two, i.e. obviously Diaz he was rumoured to be a priority for this summer, but obviously in January Liverpool jumped the gun in reality because Spurs did jump the queue and were like doing negotiations, and that Diaz was a signing and quite heavily publicised in the press over the last 6 months that Diaz was a signing for this window. But obviously Spurs were sniffing around, so Liverpool like, no, we're not having that. So it would have been mad. Obviously Nunes and Diaz would have been, all of us would have been absolutely bloody buzzing in reality, because what the outlay on terms of transfer fee for both Nunes and obviously Diaz, you're looking at probably 100 million, 100 plus just on two players. Obviously, in the outside press will be like, oh, it's 5 million for Nunes, 60 odd million with add-ons anyway. It's amazing how they phrase these as well. And you were saying that back in the day when we signed Salah and Mane, you signing for too much. And then apparently there was people out there saying that Van Dijk was too much as well outside the Liverpool Football Club. Bloody snip in reality, in terms of when you look at the transfer fee. We robbed Southampton for Virgil van Dijk. That was it's absolutely fantastic news. So as I said, had a little look at Taki 15M Monaco, as I said, official confirmation from Liverpool Football Club as well. And then we go on to obviously the Neco Williams bit of news now in reality. Neco Williams is rumoured. The latest from Forest at the minute is obviously, we all know Fulham have put a bid in for the fullback at Wolfsburg. His name's completely gone out of my head, but the Switzerland international right back anyway. He's been they've had a £10 million bid for their right back at Fulham, so it's interesting that they have moved transfer targets. Well, they're not looking at Neco Williams, and it is officially more or less looking 100% that Neco Williams will be moving to Forest for a fee in the region of in and around £15 million. If Liverpool can hopefully get that deal over the line, potentially, it's looking really positive if we can get that done and dusted in reality. But I tell you what, Neco Williams in a Forest system, everyone let me know your thoughts, how you feel you would, or as any Forest fans, let me know if you are watching on the repeat. But it's looking very promising that he will seal the deal for in around 15 million. Obviously, Jed Spence is sealing his move from Middlesbrough to Tottenham Hotspur. I think more or less Daniel Levy is dealing with that situation. So obviously Spence did get promoted with Forest last season, and he's looking like he's going to get in his move to Tottenham. So it's more or less, I think Forest are getting a much better player than Spence in reality. Neco, he's an international with Wales. It's still quite young. He's got a lot of development still to go in reality. But I'll tell you what, if Forest can get this deal over the line, I think it's looking at about 12.5 to rising to 15 odd million pounds anyway. As we know with all these deals for players, there's never you never put the money up front 100%. It's all about structure, and especially with the pandemic. I think clubs are wanting more financial security in the years to come. In reality, say if the guaranteed 12 million from Liverpool for, say, a specific player down 2 years down the line, then they'd much rather that, because it's a more consistent flow and cash flow in terms of reality, in terms of how you can structure your deals and any potential rumours or transfers coming in. But yeah, as John's saying there, in reality for Neco, a brilliant deal, party Jack. I fully agree with you there, John. Anyway, I think it suits both all parties in reality. Neco needs game time, and at his age, you need to be 100% getting first team football, and he's not going to be getting that Liverpool Football Club in reality, especially after Liverpool, as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, the young, obviously Aberdeen right back coming in anyway, so it's looking really promising in terms of Neco Williams going out the door. Liverpool are recouping a lot of this money. It'll be interesting to see if Liverpool do put a couple of pennies together, especially if we can get a lot of, say, about 30, 40 odd million pound back in terms of transfer fee. As we've mentioned, 15 million for Taki 15M Monaco, potentially looking like it will be 15 million pounds. Both 15 million pound deals as well for Taki. That's more or less, that is confirmed as well. And 15 million, that is very close to getting announced anyway with his move to Forest. And the final one, everyone as well. This is a lot more rumour based in reality. I just wanted to gauge your thoughts and opinions on Sage Gnabry as well, everyone. This is a lot very rumour based, not really 100% concrete, but it has been getting branded round anyway in relation to the last 24 hours, 48 hours as well. Would you be in favour of potentially seeing Sage Gnabry, obviously the German, all those years ago? Remember when was it Tony Pulis deemed him not worthy of a place in a West Brom side? But hey, Tony Pulis knows nothing about football. Which, oh Christ almighty. But how you doing, Gary, as well? Thank you for tuning in, mate. Absolute bloody legends. As I said, make sure you are smashing that like and the subscribe button as well. Everyone really does help the channel grow. As I said, YouTube doesn't sometimes like to push out the notifications, but thank you to every single one of you for the continued support anyway. As Gary said, dates. Good luck to Taki 15M Monaco. Lots of talk coming out about the guy from Inter, Jack. Yeah, Barella. Over the last 48 hours, it's similar with the Italian press as we spoke about last night. In reality, it would command quite a large fee because Barella has only just recently signed his new deal. I think that was last season. It was a 4 or 5 year contract at Inter Milan. He is their prize asset. I know obviously Romelu Lukaku over the last two. Well, when Lukaku was at Inter, he's one of their prize possessions. Sold him, and then they're getting him back. Lautaro Martinez as well, the Argentinian. But Barella is the crowning of their jewel in reality. Obviously, he's a tremendous player. And for me, you only have to go back on my channel, I think about 2 years ago, we spoke about Barella and any potential players coming into the football club. And he has always been on the top priority on my list. If there was a player to come in, I'd have him ahead of Jude Bellingham in reality. I think Barella, in terms of defensively, he's a lot more savvy compared to Jude Bellingham. I know both are young players, but what Barella is, he's got a low centre of gravity, as we all know, and he would suit Liverpool down to a T, especially down that right-hand side. Predominantly, he does play down in that right central midfield position for Inter Milan in a free as well. Obviously, Brozovic, when he has played alongside him, and obviously, so he's very well adversed in terms of a pressing system as well. And, you know, to play against Liverpool, he's played against Liverpool over the last couple of years as well. So he knows what it is to play. Liverpool should sign Jude. Gary, in an ideal world, we sign Jude and Barella, but we're not playing Football Manager, are we? Sadly, mate. Not really sure on Jude, to be honest, as well. They're both young players, aren't they, Mark? I think any of us. But what a lot of clubs haven't got is a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola, really. I know we joke about Pep Guardiola, but he's a tremendous world-class manager at getting the best out of his players. Similar with Jurgen Klopp as well. Two of the best coaches. With certain clubs in and around Europe, you might sign a player, but what you don't see is the progression of an individual, of a player in the space of like 3 years. They very much do stagnate at certain clubs, and we all know those clubs in terms of when you do sign a player, they don't progress. But at Liverpool and Manchester City, both coaches are such adapted so well in terms of progressing a player's career. As we say at Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp doesn't sign world-class stars. He makes them into world-class stars anyway. And it's exciting times. And if Jude was to come, pretty sure we'd get every last penny out of him. Yes, he would command a big fee, and so would Barella. But they would take us to that extra step, you'd hope. And what you do get with Jude and any potential young central midfielder as well, chat, Sparky, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Absolute bloody legends. But what you will get with a young player is, say, if you did sign Jude Bellingham for what, i.e., 120 odd million, you would get that longevity. Say, we've just been speaking about the structure of certain deals. When you do bring a player in, it's not always 75% of the transfer fee straight away. It's more or less a lot more structured. And say if that was what, 15, 20 million for Jude every single season, spaced over the 7-8 years of paying Dortmund back, then it would be fantastic. And it'd suit both parties in reality as well. Because the Dembele deal, everyone don't know, but the Dembele deal, Jurgen Klopp very much told Dortmund all those years ago that Liverpool weren't selling Coutinho at that time. And he more or less told Dortmund to go, right, absolutely rinse Barcelona. And Liverpool have got a good relationship with Dortmund due to the fact of obviously Jurgen Klopp anyway. He knows quite a lot of the hierarchy at the football club anyway. He's still on good terms, I'd say, really, as well. So let me know your thoughts on that. Yo, Jack, good word, lads. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it. Barella is class. I think he's more than class, Gary. Anyway, and he's different gravy. He's absolutely world class. Yo, Jack, good work, lad. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate, everyone. Every single one of you is absolute bloody legends. Sad to lose Taki, though. Hope he does well at Monaco. Mark, chat, let us know. Obviously, if you are jumping a bit late in reality, in terms of obviously Taki 15M, do you think he'll thrive in the French league? I think when you look at certain French players or French league players anyway, Mbappe just runs rings round about against we class him as the league as a farmers league, which it is, only due to the fact of how much money Paris Saint-Germain have got, like compared and contrasted comparing to the other teams in French football. I know everyone will go, oh, was it Lille back in the day when Hazard broke through when he was a youngster? Anyway, they won the league. I think Montpellier won the league a very long time ago. And that was when they had Olivier Giroud as well. So the majority of the time since Paris Saint-Germain have been taken over, it's quite laughable that Pochettino didn't win the league. Was it last year? Well, the year before or wherever the season was. I can't believe he didn't win the league. I think it was Lille or whoever their new manager is anyway. But I think he'll do really well, Mark. I think his light frame will very much suit how the French football is very much played. It would have been mad to actually see a Adama Traore go to the French league, because Christ, the French league on defenders would be flying into the stands, because I don't think they've got like I tell you what, if Erling Haaland or Adama Traore, a player with a big physique, would go to the French league football, did he easily get 40, 50 odd league goals anyway. And it wouldn't surprise me if Leo Messi gets easy 50, 60 odd goals in French football next season. I know everyone's going, oh, he's not had the best season, but he was in and out really in reality, and he still had a very good season. It's mad how Messi's worst season is probably better than 99% of players in and around Europe. He's still got quite a lot of assists anyway. And it's difficult when probably you are playing behind the president of PSG, when it's probably put in your contract that you need to pass the ball to Mbappe to get him the goals. All sorted now, Gary. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. And everyone, thank you. Yeah, obviously he did have COVID this week anyway. He's had 2 negatives, which is positive. But most importantly, every single one of you is watching, is looking after yourselves. Health is wealth as well, most importantly, as long as all you are looking after one another as well. As I said, thank you for tuning in. But thank you for your concern, Gary. Really do appreciate it, mate, as well. Hope you're keeping well, every single one of you, as I said. Bellingham is an outstanding player, from John at 19. He's still a risk. Look at Sancho. I wouldn't say he really done anything at Manchester United. John, the thing with when Sancho's a very good player, and I think if he in another parallel universe, if he did go to Liverpool or to Manchester City over the Manchester United, Sancho, both managers, Pep and Klopp, would get an absolute blood tune out of Sancho. Sancho's not a bad player. He's just playing in a bad system and a bad club at the worst time anyway. To throw Sancho into that team when United have probably the worst finish they've had in the 60 odd over the last 60, 70 odd years in the league. You can't put it all that pressure on Sancho's shoulders. He's a very good player, John, and I'm pretty sure when he's playing under a better manager technically, I think we'll see a better Sancho. Sadly, at Manchester United in the next 12 to 24 months anyway. He's not a bad player, John. I think Sancho, he'll eventually come good when he's got the right tactics and the right coach behind him anyway. But Paul, how you doing, mate? Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already liked the stream, everyone, really do appreciate it if you could do that. Absolute bloody legends. Really just hope that the algorithm anyway, you don't understand how much it does help. Well, thank you to everyone that has dropped a like on the video. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button down below as well. We'll be touching a little bit on Serge Gnabry, your thoughts as well at the back end of this show. I like Taki. He was definitely too lightweight at first, but the last season, every time I watched him, he was impressive. Yeah, Paul, and obviously the game against Southampton, the back end of this season, especially last year when he was called upon, I think if he didn't have the impact in which we anticipated last year, obviously he was the main reason why Liverpool, as he says, I got a little picture of it here. He was the main reason why Liverpool did come off the back of winning a League Cup and an FA Cup. It was more or less predominantly down to him. His goals were so important. And what he said there, mate, Paul, I think I was growing to him. And it was always going to be difficult for any player in and around Europe when you do move at that time frame. In terms of obviously the pandemic, it would have been difficult. He would have had to have moved. It was stuck in a hotel room as well. Didn't fully integrate himself into the football club, but I'm pretty sure he'll do absolutely fantastic in France anyway. He'll walk the French league, hopefully. Anyway, so everyone keep an eye on Monaco for next season anyway. It's there's a French league as well. PSG is a beast of a club. So much money it takes it to make such great deals. But yeah, Mark, it's the thing, isn't it? Didn't he have Nkunku chat as well? Did he come through the academy at Paris Saint-Germain, or did they sign him and then let him go anyway? Obviously, Nkunku is currently at Paris, not Paris Saint-Germain, RB Leipzig. Yeah, the Frenchman anyway. So yeah, they've had, and Kingsley Coman was at Paris Saint-Germain as well when he scored past him in the final, didn't he, for Bayern Munich? Which is absolutely, they've had everyone, haven't they? Who would you sign, Jack, under 50 million? Sparky, bloody hell, Sparky's giving me the £50 million checkbook. 50 million, that gets you a left foot of a player now, Christ. It wouldn't get you much in today's market, mate, but if it was a player who was available, I'd put that money towards a midfielder, I think. Yeah, I'd put that 50 million. It'd probably get the left foot of Barella. Yeah, Sparky, as I've just been waxing lyrical, I think all of us. So yeah, I'd put that 50 million towards a midfielder, and it would be Barella or a Jude Bellingham. So I'd 50% subsidise any potential deal. So yeah, there you go, mate. I'd buy Barella's left boot, mate, because I don't think 50 million gets you a whole Barella deal over the line. But yeah, who would you get, Sparky, anyway? Well, chat. Reply to Sparky's comments as well. Great comment there. Ten Hag, hopefully, Gary, hopefully he fails. It'll be another Comedy Central on Match of the Day all season. Do you feel we need... Yes, Mark, we spoke about this, mate, and we do. But if you haven't watched the video that we done last night, I want to know your thoughts on, obviously, Curtis Jones. It's going to be a massive year. But we all of us, we're not stupid. We all watched that Champions League final. And we watched the beginning of last season. Well, the beginning of the season. It's those games where you need someone to come off the bench or someone that starts that bit more creativeness, but goal threat as well. Most importantly, it's those tight games where you need a goal scoring midfielder or someone that can just flick a switch and within. Obviously, Carvalho, potentially, but he's still a young lad. It's too much pressure to put on a young lad's shoulders. He's not going to be the answer for now. Short term, potentially, for the odd couple of games, but we're speaking at the elite level. If Liverpool are continuing to get to European finals, we need those. We need like a world-class player that will stand out at the right occasions as well. Henderson's not getting any younger. Milner's not. But we're thinking long-term to compete and continue to. We're not that far off. Don't forget, everyone, we all know Jurgen Klopp is a bloody wizard with this team. It's just doing those small moments within a season. We just need that extra little bit of boost. Obviously, Nunes, if you can come in, get 20 odd, 30 odd goals in all competitions next season, that's a great positive. But we are losing Mane, so we're losing quite a lot of quality. What Mane did offer was clutch goals, was clutch moments, a man for the big occasion. When we played City last season, the FA Cup semi-final, Mane was your man. Mane has been Liverpool's man in the big finals and the big crunch moments within our seasons. He has been as well, but he's moved on, and all the best to him anyway. Oh, yeah, well, hopefully that's the case there. Gary, yes, we spoke about Jared Bowen. If you'd like to do a show, I'll try and get a couple of my West Ham mates on anyway. They won't like talking about potentially Bowen coming to Liverpool, but they'll have their great insight anyway. I think it's a massive season chat as well. If West Ham can keep hold of Jared Bowen going to this season. Being pushed more like the fans want to see results, but it takes time to turn a club round. 100% there, Mark, as well. How you doing, Andrew? No worries. Taki was fantastic in the cup games. I was thinking he will thrive at Monaco. Also, do you think there'll be two more surprise incomings this window behind the scenes? As we spoke about, Andrew, it would heavily depend on Liverpool selling players due to the wage bill, as we know. If we could potentially move out Ox, as we spoke about last night, or potentially another player. But long term, I don't think there'll be any movement as of yet, but it heavily depends on players going out the football club. Yeah, Gary's saying he can't wait to see Darwin. I don't think any of us can as well. Sparky, there's a lot of fans of Alan St. Maximum, but I've got a lot of Geordie mates, and I don't know if I've got a lot of Geordie mates as well, but he's probably one of the most frustrating players to watch in the Premier League. At the right price, Sparky, but I think if he can fine-tune his game and be a bit more intelligent when he gets to, like, say, the byline and gets his head up properly, because he skins about 5 players and then he wants to beat a man again. He reminds me of young Cristiano Ronaldo when he came into the Premier League. I know St. Maximin's, 25, 26 years old, so he's still quite young. But when Ronaldo first came to the Premier League, when he was doing all these step overs and he was getting absolutely crunched, Ronaldo won it. But St. Maximin, I think if he can fine-tune his game and his decision-making in terms of the final third is a bit more better, I'd be all over that. He's probably one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. I'll tell you that now. I think all of us would agree with that. Probably one of the most. You don't know what he's going to do, and that's a good and a bad thing with St. Maximin in it. But as I said, he's Newcastle star man in their system. I don't think he would want to move anyway. But intriguing, Sparky. I think, as you said there, mate. I think you're a massive fan, aren't you, mate? Do you think we'll buy Gnabry, Warners? LDs, I will talk about that in a little second, mate. But thank you for your comments. If you are new around here, mate, hit that subscribe button down below anyway. As I said, the Gnabry news is more or less a bit more rumour-based, not an 100% concrete at the minute. But it will just... Do you feel, everyone chat, let me know if you are tuning in or if you're a bit later to the stream. Would you like to see Liverpool going for Serge Gnabry anyway? If any potential deal, have a little dive into his statistics really and how we feel he would. I can't wait to get going. Again, hate this, Mark. Me too, mate. But we've got to talk about the transfers, haven't we? I'd buy Gnabry. He was only 18 at Arsenal. He was brilliant. I can't believe when the Gunners sold him, he looks the part now. Yeah, Paul. I'd say, as we were saying at the top of the show, you'd think it was another parallel universe. Serge Gnabry was getting managed by Tony Pulis a very long time ago. But leading on perfect by the chat as well. Absolute bloody legend. Serge Gnabry. It has been rumoured that supposedly Liverpool are having a look at the young German anyway. And we'll have a look in terms of statistics from last season. He made 34 Bundesliga appearances, scoring 14 goals and registering 6 assists as well for the German outfit. That's just in the Bundesliga alone anyway. His market value is in around 58 million to 60 odd million anyway. That is as it stands of the 9th of June. His age, he's 26 years. Obviously, he's just about to turn 27. Obviously, his birthday's on the 14th of July. But it's this area and the positional wise in which Serge Gnabry does pick up and where he has played for Germany, but most importantly for Bayern Munich. He's predominantly a right winger, but his other positions are a left winger and second striker as well. So ideally, this is where it does tie into Liverpool in terms of if Liverpool, we've got a good deal with Bayern Munich in relation, as we've said already on today's show, with the fact of we've not give them money, but we've done a deal with Sadio Mane going to Bayern Munich this season. For me, this screams his contract does run out, as you can see there, June the 30th, 2023. So his contract would finish next season, the back end of next season. So for me, chat, I feel, I don't know how you feel, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but Liverpool should be all over Serge Gnabry, especially if his contract is running out next season. And due to his market value and his international rep in reality, for me, I think he'd add a lot of elements to Liverpool, and he'd very much replace, especially what Liverpool have lost in Sadio Mane. Gnabry, when he has played against English opposition in Champions League, he's absolutely battered them. I think Arsenal fans are sick and tired. He always scores against Spurs, always scores against Arsenal. Remember when Arsenal were getting spanked by Bayern? It seemed like every single bloody season in a knockout or in the group stages anyway when Arsenal were in the Champions League. But for me, Serge Gnabry would be an absolute tremendous signing if he did become available. And I can understand if all these rumours do come to fruition in reality, especially if Salah in the next 12 months or if he is not to sign a deal, I'd say go in all in for Serge Gnabry. If we can get the deal over the line, fitting around 40 odd, 50 odd million, I think that's a very good price. Still quite young, as we mentioned, just about to turn 27. So he's got 3-4 years at the top level as well. Liverpool were to do a contract negotiation. If he did sign a 5-year deal, that would take him up to 32 years old. And but yeah, I'd be all over this, everyone. At the minute, as I said, I do stress it is a lot of rumor based, but if anything does come to fruition in reality in the next couple of days, I'd be absolutely love this. That could be fixed as well. So let me know your thoughts, Sparky, as well. Would love to sign Gnabry. He'd be brilliant for us. Klopp would make him world class as well. I think that will be amazing in Liverpool. So such a dynamic player. As well as we were just looking there, mate, as you said, is what I love about is his positional. He can play on the left, play on the right, and he can play as a second striker as well. And that's what we've lost in Sadio Mane, as we've seen with Mane. He brought him in, started right wing when he first come in, then we moved him out to the left, and then last season we seen him play through the middle. Obviously, we're all expecting Darwin Núñez to play through the middle, but Darwin Núñez does sometimes pick up, as we've seen from all the stats from off the back of last season when he has played for Benfica. He picks up those wide left channels, pockets of space, Darwin Núñez. So for me, Serge Gnabry does tick all the boxes for a potential Liverpool signing as well. And he's got experience in Champions League football, and he's got experience in the top elite level of European football as well. That's a great point about Klopp improving Gnabry as well, as chat have already said there as well. Absolute bloody quality, absolute legends as well. But chat, I'm gonna cap it off anyway. But if you've got 14 people in here, make sure you are smashing that like button as well, everyone. Let me know your thoughts if you are watching on the repeat as well, everyone. As I said, if you don't get your notifications on YouTube anyway, everyone, always tune in at 6 p.m. I will be trying to stick at 6 p.m. GMT UK time anyway. I will be doing live streams as well, whether that be player profiles as well. Love to get all your input as well. And oh yeah, I've nearly forgot about my quiz as well, everyone. So little segments on every video as well. We had a little started it off. So we've got 5 quiz questions. Everyone, let me know. You can play at home anyway. Only 5 little questions. It does relate. Some of the questions are, say, I think yesterday we had the who was the manager for Celtic in the 1966, and but we'll go with the first question. So it'll only be 5 questions, and fair play, as I said, you get a pat on the back anyway from me anyway. So the first question, everyone, you can play at home. So the first question for tonight as well, to cap off the end segment: which side did the Reds beat in the FA Cup at the King's Meadow in 2015? So which side did the Reds beat in the FA Cup at King's Meadow in 2015 as well? Give it a couple of seconds on that before they officially announce it. Should know this one. Ready? So the answer to that question was AFC Wimbledon. So fair play if you got that one right. Question 2. Which Frenchman scored his only FA Cup goals in the 2-1 win, the 2-1 defeat to Newcastle United at Anfield in January 2004? So which Frenchman scored his only FA Cup goals in the 2-1 defeat of Newcastle at Anfield in January 2004? Give you a couple of seconds on that. Ready? It was Bruno Shadou. Oh, bloody hell, remember him, Christ. Yeah, bloody hell. So I was back in 2004. How old was I then? I was 9. Well, 8, 9, yeah. Bloody hell. And the next question, question number 3 of 5 for tonight. Which club knocked out Liverpool? Which club knocked Liverpool out of the Champions League in 2002, only to lose in the final to Real Madrid? So which club knocked Liverpool out of the Champions League in 2002, only to lose to Real Madrid in the final? And the answer to that question, well done if you got it, is Bayer Leverkusen. So I'll tell you, there's a couple of, there was a Bayer Leverkusen, well, obviously Luis Garcia on yesterday's one. So Bayer Leverkusen. If you're only doing a Liverpool quiz, quite a large percentage of these questions are Bayer Leverkusen. So well, fair play if you got that one. And last 2 questions. So question 4, which Serbian scored his only goal for the club in the League Cup in September 2020 before moving to Portugal? Tell you what, I'll be disappointed if you don't get that one. So which Serbian scored his only goal for the club in the League Cup in September 2020 before his move to Portugal? And Liverpool have only just recently got that money off that transferred as well. And the answer to that question, surprise, surprise, you all knew that one, was Marko Grujic as well. The absolute bloody tank that he is. Another player that I wish did work out for Liverpool. Sadly, it didn't. And then the final question of tonight as well, everyone. So only 5 questions, not 2. But fair play if you got all these. Who was the unused substitute in the 2005 Champions League final and was again unused with Manchester City 16 years later? Woo-hoo! You should know that one. So, who was an unused substitute in the 2005 Champions League final and was again unused with Manchester City 16 years later. Should know this one. I'm only saying you should know this one because I've got the bloody answers in front of me. So I'll give you a couple of seconds. Ready? And the answer to that question was Scott Carson. Bloody hell, Scott Carson. We're going back in the days, aren't we? It's mad that he's still playing, isn't he? But that was only one of 5 questions. But fair play. Let's get to a couple of your answers here. Pretty sure a couple of yous I've got them right anyway. But as John's saying there, brilliant show, Jack, mate. Thank you very much, John, anyway. But Sparky's saying 58 million for Gnabry. Good shout as well. That's where in and around his value, as you expect, but given his contract running out next year, the back end of the end of next summer, then I think you can have a bit of wiggle room in reality to get that price down for him anyway. But he's have a great rest of your day, everyone. Spot on there, Mark. Absolute bloody legends. But Paulie, Brazil. I don't know what question there. Who would you sell? Oh, we'd be here all night anyway, mate. But my main priority, if it was to pick a player to sell, mate, would be obviously Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You won't get a lot for them, but I think the wages in which Ox is on, potentially bring in as we've spoken already tonight. So one of my players would be obviously getting Neco Williams, obviously as we spoke about already tonight. £50 million for him will be massive as well. But yeah, it'd be Ox for me, Sparky. Let me know who you potentially hope to look to move out the football club. Davin and Go, not quite Paul. Oh, what a bloody striker he was back in the day. We all remember him for those goals against Man United when we're talking about squad depth. When we had Torres, a prime Torres, our backup to him was a certain David and Gog. Bloody hell. Shady was awful. That's putting it lightly, Paul. He was, mate. But yeah, Killian's got it nice. Get in, Killian. Absolute legend. Pez Kingdom, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. According to you, in terms of what, fella? In terms of in Wales football or in terms of Liverpool's history? But for me, Virgil van Dijk, in my lifetime, I've only been on this planet for 27 years. I didn't watch the legendary, obviously, Alan Hansen's as well anyway, and obviously the Phil Tomos of this world as well. Great legendary Liverpool centre-halves. But Sammy Hippia's got to be up there for me. I love Sammy. Bloody hell. You guarantee him scoring a goal, wouldn't you? Sammy Hippia, what a bloody legend. Probably one of my favourite players growing up as a young lad. Anyway, what a centre-half. But Virgil van Dijk as well. Yeah, Pez. So I'd have to pick, obviously, Virgil van Dijk. At the current minute, Virgil van Dijk is the world's best centre-half. As good as he is on the ball, but it's what he does in terms of organising a back line. And for me, I still, as much as he's a pain in the backside, Sergio Ramos is still an elite level centre-half. I think he's got the dark art, but he's still a world-class player. And I'm a bit surprised that he went to Paris Saint-Germain, but I suppose if you're getting offered like 300, 400k a week to play in France, then you're not going to turn it down, are you? Well, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button down below. As I said, all the shows go out live at 6 p.m. We've got a variety of shows. Obviously, on the build-up show, hopefully getting a lot more people to get involved in the channel as well. Of course, yeah, I read that one. If Gruitch, Scouts, how you doing, mate? Thank you for tuning in, mate. If Gruitch would have got his head down, he could have been the next Igor Biscan. Yeah, I remember him as well. I was wondering where that was going there, Scouser. Gnabry wouldn't cost any more than 32 to 35 million. You'd hope not, John, and considering Liverpool's business with obviously Thiago Alcantara, I think Bayern is still a bit salty that we got him. I know we had like a year left on his contract and he didn't have much wiggle room, but I think they're still a bit salty that we got Thiago for a bit cheaper than they expected. But we've given them money, so. And I think Liverpool wanted in around 40 to 50 odd million, didn't we? I think the price point Liverpool wanted for Mane was in around 42 million, but I think we got a deal struck for in around 35 million for the Senegal player anyway. Who doing the Ballon d'Or? Bloody hell, Pez is getting all the bloody questions in here as well. Let Pez know as well, everyone. For me, I think it will be Benzema. Due to the fact of obviously the Champions League. I know France are doing absolutely terrible at the minute in terms of the Nation League, but when it comes down to it, I know they did get knocked out. Was it Switzerland they got knocked out by France? It was in the last Euro. But I think it will be Karim Benzema. He's had a tremendous season last year as well. And if he can continue the next 6 months leading into the Ballon d'Or, I think Benzema. I wish it was Salah and Mane, but I think if Salah and Mane did win the Champions League, I think it's a massive indication. But yeah, I think it will be Karim Benzema to win the Ballon d'Or. Pez, let me know your thoughts on that, mate, as well. But yeah, Paul, I'm old enough to remember Hansen and but Virgil van Dijk is well up there for me as well. And Big Ron Yates as well. Bloody hell, Big Ron Yates. Seen all the documentaries on Big Ronnie Yates anyway. What a colossal anyway. We're very blessed to have a lot of legendary players at Liverpool Football Club. And as Pez said there, he thinks Benzema as well. But yeah, good night, everyone. It's been an absolutely bloody cracking show. As I said, it will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. And as I said, if you don't get your notification, jump on the channel. We will be live anyway. But thank you if you are new around here. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you are smashing that like button as well, everyone. Thank you to every single one of you that already has. But get those likes up before we do shoot off, everyone. Really just help the channel grow and get the video out there to everyone as well. And thank you for tuning in, every single one of you. Have a lovely rest of your evening, everyone. Javier Mascherano was a great missed player. I saw he made up for it marking the Champions League at Wembley, didn't he? Even though he did probably leave Liverpool with sour grapes, but it made up that Barca beat Man United at Wembley, didn't it? and he dedicated that his win at Wembley to all the Scousers anyway. Remember that interview? When he was getting interviewed, but it was by ITV or back in the day. Remember when ITV actually had the Champions League footy? Christ, those were the days. But how you doing, Zuki, as well? Absolute bloody legends. But everyone, I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your evening. And thank you once again for every single one of you who are watching on the repeat. Let me know your thoughts on Gnabry, thoughts on Taki 15M officially moving to Monaco for £15 million. And obviously Neco Williams very much looking like he will be getting his deal over the line very soon to Forest for in and around £15 million, which is really promising. But Helen, you can rewind and rewatch anyway, and let me know your thoughts. We'll be replying to all your comments as well. If you are jumping on, or if you do jump in the comments after this video has been uploaded. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. And let me know, chat, if you did get your notifications or if you didn't. But have a lovely rest of your evening, everyone. I will be back, as I said, if you don't get any notifications, back tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the dot GMT. But everyone, see you tomorrow at 6 and enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you for all the continued support, as always.